Hey guys, Killix here, the #1 virgin collector in North America. Blizzard just pushed the World of Warcraft Midnight pre-order rewards onto live servers, and that means we finally get to see all the mounts, pets, and transmogs in-game. In this video, I'll break down every edition, what's included, how they look in-game, and most importantly, which version is actually worth it if you're a collector like me. Let's get right into it. So on top of all these other perks, you also get this simulator for your housing. It's a little bit laggy right now because it just came out, but you can essentially see like what your house is going to look like, and you can go around, and this is obviously not what your specific house is going to look like because you're going to be able to customize it, but you can get a general idea of like the area, the room, the housing, all that cool stuff. Like it's got the portrait. You're probably going to be able to put any portrait anywhere you want, that type of thing. So this is actually pretty cool. The Nixia's head, some Zoldazar cosmetics, just cool stuff like this. First up, we have the two mounts. The first one is going to be the Lightwing Dragonhawk, which is a light infused Dragonhawk type mount. It's themed around the light side of the Midnight Cosmic Conflict. This is a skywriting mount. I don't know why, but for some reason this reminds me of Magikarp, the Pokemon. The second mount is going to be the Voidwing Dragonhawk, which is essentially the same exact mount, but it's a void themed, opposite fully void corrupted, purple, black aesthetic type. It's another dragon riding mount as well. Now these mounts are tied to the heroic and epic editions, so if you're on the fence, know that the base edition will not include either mounts. A quick note for collectors, guys. Now you might be asking yourself, can I get these rewards later? The answer is maybe, but I would not count on it. Sometimes Blizzard keeps a digital deluxe upgrade in the shop for quite a while, like they did back in MoP. But other times, pre-order exclusives just kind of vanish forever. A few mounts or pets have shown up in the years later in the Blizzard shop or like trading post or anything like that, but that's very rare. The bottom line is, if you care about collecting like I do, I would assume that any of these bonuses are limited, so don't risk missing them. There are also two new cosmetic pets. We have Hope Flutter, which is a light touch mod style pet. It has glowing golden wings. And then we have Doomfeather, which is the void themed counterpart. It's a dark purple with void corruption effects. These are available starting with the heroic edition, with both included in the epic edition as well. Note that these pets are non-combat collectibles, but they do still count towards your pet collection achievements and rankings. These are essentially just little mini versions of the mounts, slightly varied and slightly different than the actual mounts themselves. As far as the transmog sets, you're going to get two different ensembles. First one is going to be the Lightstrider Raiment, which is a radiant armor set themed with a light infused design. And then the second one is going to be a Void Strider Raiment with the darker void infused version with shadowy effects. The transmog sets have been extremely popular in pre-order bundles lately in the last couple of expansions. So, and most of the time these will not be available outside of this specific bundle itself. Once they're gone forever, guys. Heroic edition includes Lightstrider, while the epic edition upgrades you to both Lightstrider and the Void Strider. It seems to be that the later editions in these expansion bundles are going to give you the darker void themes, while the earlier editions are going to give you the lighter ones as well. Note for completionists, guys, these are full sets, meaning you get helmet, shoulders, chest, gloves, boots, stuff like that, not just cloak or weapon like you did back past. They're also account wide and usable across every single armor type as appearances. Now let's talk about the biggest surprises in this pre-order, which is the Midnight Housing Bundle. There are no pictures out of these yet, but I'm going to do my best to describe them for you guys. This is exclusive to the Epic Edition only, and it's Blizzard's very first time tying player housing rewards to a pre-order. If you're planning on diving into housing on day one, this is where the value really stacks up. Here's what you'll get. A light and void rotundas. These are large gazebo style structures you can place it in your housing plot, most likely outside or like at in a yard or by a pool or a pond or something like that. They're big centerpiece decorations with one version infused by the light and the other corrupted by the void. Think of them as like signature buildings of this bundle, essentially. The second one is going to be light and void fountains. These are medium-sized outdoor structures, again, one glowing with light and the other swirling with void effects. These are perfect themed for your housing plot in either direction, whichever one you go for, light or dark. And then we have the portrait decors. These are going to be wall-mounted frames featuring 4 major characters, which is going to be Zalatash the Harbinger, Arathor the Redeemer, Turalion the High Exarch, and then Illyria Windrunner the Ranger General portrait, which is honestly a little odd because Illyria is not even a Ranger General. I'm pretty sure her grandmother was the Ranger General. So I think that was like a little mistake by Blizzard or something that they messed up. What makes this a big deal is that it's not just a cosmetic fluff. Blizzard is also giving early access to the housing system itself through the Epic Edition. So if you want to be one of the first players experimenting with the housing layouts, like I will be personally, just like flexing your light or dark themed decor, you will need to pre-order the Epic tier for sure. This marks the start of what could be a huge collectible system in WoW, right? How the housing system is going to be massive. And if history tells us anything, these first wave housing pieces will probably stay exclusive forever for collectors specifically. This is basically the equivalent of having day one unobtainable transmog, but this time for your house. So let's start off by comparing all three editions of this bundle. The base edition is going to be $50 USD. We're going to round up by that 1 cent just to make it easier. This is going to be roughly $70 Canadian or $78 Australian. This is going to come with the expansion access, which includes Midnight plus the War Within. It's also going to come with a level 80 character boost as well as 500 trader tenders. The second edition is going to be the Heroic Edition. It's going to be $70 USD, roughly $97 Canadian or 109 Australian dollars. This is going to include everything in the base version as well as the Light Strider Raymond Transmog set, the Light Wing Dragonhawk mount, as well as Hope Flutter pets and 1000 trader tenders. So this is going to be 500 more trader tenders than the base edition. The third and final edition is going to be the Epic Edition, which is going to be $90 USD. It's going to be roughly 125 Canadian dollars or 140 Australian dollars. This is going to include everything in base and Heroic Edition, as well as some extra rewards including the Void Strider Raymond Transmog set, the Void Wig Dragonhawk mount, the Doom Feathers pet, 2000 trader tenders, which is 1500 extra from the base edition and 1000 extra from the Heroic Edition. This is also going to come with a free 30-day game time on whatever account you want on your BNet, as well as 3-day early access to the expansion and the Midnight Housing Bundle release. Now, if we do some math here, guys, WoW's monthly cost is $15 a month. If you have the 12-month bundle, it's $13. So assuming that you have the 12-month bundle, you're saving $13 for that free 30-day game time bonus. You're essentially spending $7 more for the Epic Edition instead of the Heroic Edition, getting way more. One major perk that often gets overlooked in these bundles is the 3-day of early access with the Epic Edition. You get a head start on leveling your characters, knocking out new achievements, and grabbing completionist rewards before the rest of the player base even floods in. It also means early access to things like player housing, reputation farming, and exploration, and which can feel amazing if you're the type who wants to see everything first, or just hate the day one login chaos and lag and just like complete DC fest and just all that type of stuff that happens every single expansion. For collectors like me, those 3 days are basically free progress that you never have to redo again. That's the full breakdown of the Midnight pre-order bonuses. For me as a collector, the Epic Edition is the obvious pick. It's a no-brainer. Both mounts, both pets, both transmog sets, early housing, and a pile of traders tenders. But really it comes down to whether you're just here to play or you're here to collect everything Blizzard throws at us, every single patch, every single expansion. If you found this guide helpful, drop a like, subscribe. I've got more Midnight guides coming, more mount farms, collector tips on the way. Check out my channel if you haven't already. I have tons of different stuff ranging from PvP, Mythic Plus, collector, completionist stuff. If you want to see me grind this stuff live, check me out on Twitch. Links down below in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one.